Oh, what a tangled web we weave, when first we practice to deceive.
The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate.
Before I can become an expert on anything, I must first become an expert on me. When men are pure, laws are useless. When men are corrupt, laws are broken.
Life provides chances to open your heart all the time.
The life you have left is a gift. Cherish it. Enjoy it now to the fullest. Do what matters now.
In the midst of darkness, He alone sees the dawn. In the midst of the soundless, He alone hears harmony. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep.
Action springs not from thought, but from a readiness for responsibility.
Never worry a bit in life. Always be full of merriment.
You must be the best judge of your own happiness.
Life is pain. Anyone who says otherwise is selling something.
We are the sum of all people we have ever met. You change the tribe, and the tribe changes you.
It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. A seed neither fears light nor darkness, but uses both to grow.
A point of view can be a dangerous luxury when substituted for insight and understanding. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. Optimists move through life with a happy exterior. What happens on the inside shows up on the outside. Everything looks impossible initially, and then everything eases out gradually. Beginning is the key. Our battered suitcases were piled on the sidewalk again. We had longer ways to go, but no matter, the road is life. Worrying about losing is losing before you begin. To all appearances, he was just drifting. In actuality, he was just drifting. You cannot change your future. You can change your habits, and surely your habits will change your future. Strange, I thought, how you can be living your dreams and your nightmares at the very same time. Who we are in the present includes who we were in the past.
True words are not fancy. Fancy words are not true. The good do not debate. Debaters are not good.
I would have offered you a forest of truth, but you wish to speak of a single leaf. If there never was a night or day and memories could fade away, then we'd be nothing left but the dreams we made. Don't tell me about your God with your words. Show me about your God with your actions. The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. Do not let your grand ambitions stand in the way of small but meaningful accomplishments. Go ahead and believe that no one shines brighter than you. Become amazing and be happy.
If you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float by.
Every person has a right to risk their own life for the preservation of it. Dreams are what keep us growing. They are what keep us alive. To give up is to let our dreams die. Life must not be a novel that is given to us, but one that is made by us. Your own positive future begins in this moment. All you have is right now. Every goal is possible from here. Someone needs to fight, someone needs to sacrifice, someone needs to inspire, someone needs to be a hero.
The only limits for tomorrow are the doubts we have today.
The deeds you do may be the only sermon some persons will hear today.
At some point, we all look up and realize that we are lost in a maze.
Trust yourself. You know more than you think you do. Participate in your own dreams. Don't just say what you want or complain about what you don't have. Money gives you freedom. Freedom gives you happiness. To me, all research is exploring the universe, understanding it deeper, one finding at a time. People inspire you or they drain you. Pick them wisely. And in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It is the life in your years. Don't dwell on things. Don't stay in one place too long. It was the only way to stay ahead of sadness. To be human is to be broken, and broken is its own kind of beautiful. Anything can be done, as long as you truly believe it. Life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending. Who you are tomorrow begins with what you do today. Sometimes you get pushed out, not because you're not worth it, you are worth more.
I've never seen anything as bright as the rays of kindness. An opinion should be the result of thought, not a substitute for it.
You can be young without money, but you can't be old without it. You just keep pushing. You just keep pushing. I made every mistake that could be made, but I just kept pushing. I never expect a perfect work from an imperfect man.
Great results can be achieved with small forces.
People will not remember what you did for living. They will remember how you touched them with kindness and loving. Your body is the church where nature asks to be reverenced.
Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. Money is better than poverty, if only for financial reasons. History, Stephen said, is a nightmare from which I am trying to awake.
Persistence is the quality of winners. Successful people never give up. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Keep your conscious mind busy with the expectation of the best, and the rest will follow. Looking at beauty in the world is the first step of purifying the mind. It is not hard to walk without looking. It is hard to walk without seeing.
Follow your heart. Listen to your inner voice. Stop caring about what others think. If people treat you like an option, leave them like a choice. Because people don't have wings, we look for ways to fly.
There are 3 sides to every story: yours, theirs, and the truth somewhere in the middle.
The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off.
Every man should lose a battle in his youth, so he does not lose a war when he is old.
Keep creating. The world yearns to celebrate your next masterpiece.
The world is merciless, and it's also very beautiful.
The nourishment of body is food, while the nourishment of the soul is feeding others. Because you can only die once, but you can suffer forever.
No, that is the great fallacy, the wisdom of old men. They do not grow wise, they grow careful. It is not a daily increase, but a daily decrease. Hack away at the inessentials. To avoid disappointment, expect nothing from nobody.
Stop blaming outside circumstances for your inside chaos. Between living and dreaming, there is a third thing. Guess it. I saw a star. I reached for it. I missed. So I accepted the sky. If you can dream it, you have the innate ability to make it a reality in your life.
Life is not complex. We are complex. Life is simple, and the simple thing is the right thing. There's no solution to life. There's going to be problems no matter what.
If you can feel the future, then you are about to experience it.
There's nothing more embarrassing than to have earned the disfavor of a perceptive animal.
The penalty for procrastination is the loss of hopes and dreams.
Some roses grow through concrete. Remember that. All the papers that matter live off their advertisements. and the advertisers exercise an indirect censorship over news.
I know the joy of fishes in the river through my own joy as I go walking along the same river. Maneuvering with an army is advantageous, with an undisciplined multitude, most dangerous. A single death is a tragedy. 1,000,000 deaths is a statistic. Let your mind wander in the pure and simple. Be one with the infinite. Let all things take their course.
When seeing the simple truth means recognizing that we're in sin, we would rather see things as being complicated. To the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. I found out that there weren't too many limitations if I did it my way.
The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources.
The best way to prepare for life is to begin to live.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
Never compromise truth for the sake of getting along with people who can only get along when we agree. Most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss, but because they aim too low and hit. Quietly endure, silently suffer, and patiently wait. If you ever find yourself in the wrong story, leave.
I'm not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens. Receive with simplicity everything that happens to you. The language of light can only be decoded by the heart. Education is not the learning of facts. It's rather the training of the mind to think.
Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. For those who believe, no proof is necessary. For those who don't believe, no proof is possible.
Don't depend too much on anyone in this world, because even your own shadow leaves you when you are in darkness. All the world is made of faith and trust and pixie dust. It is hard work and great art to make life not so serious.
Until you change how you get things done, you'll never know what works best. It is difficult, when faced with a situation you cannot control, to admit you can do nothing.
All men know the use of the useful, but nobody knows the use of the useless.
I have been swimming inward and no longer drowning. I have been seeking the answers within myself. Because this is the way things are meant to be. There's no way you can kill someone and get to the other side of the experience unchanged. Realize that everything connects to everything else. Don't give up at halftime. Concentrate on winning the second half. When terrible things have happened to you, sometimes the promise of something good can be just as frightening.
Belief can be manipulated. Only knowledge is dangerous. If you can't enjoy what you have, you can't enjoy more of it. People wealth consists upon their freedom, individual resources, and good social life.
When one experiences truth, the madness of finding fault with others disappears. I'm hungry for a juicy life. I lean out my window at night, and I can taste it out there, just waiting for me. All the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. I've always liked the moonless night best. It's easier to say things in the dark. It's easier to be yourself. We can do anything we want to if we stick to it long enough. Where joy grows deep, sorrow must deepen. The greater one's pleasures, the greater the pain.
Ultimate excellence lies not in winning every battle, but in defeating the enemy without ever fighting.
Great achievement is usually born of great sacrifice, and is never the result of selfishness. Few among men are they who cross to the further shore. The others merely run up and down the bank on this side. People are successful because they think and act like successful people.
Those who are willing to be vulnerable move among mysteries.
If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor.
The truth will set you free, but not until it is finished with you.
Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. I have a theory that as long as you have one good friend, one real friend, you can get through anything.
I think there is only one quality worse than hardness of heart, then that is softness of head.
Don't compare your life to others. You have no idea what their journey is all about.
All men know the utility of useful things, but they do not know the utility of utility.
There are no bad words, bad thoughts, bad intentions, and words. You just have to go after what you want, and if it doesn't want you back, then so be it. It doesn't deserve you anyways.
Truth is what your contemporaries let you get away with.
A loving soul was always more beautiful over the long haul, but actual prettiness was fleeting. Everything you'll ever need to know is within you. The secrets of the universe are imprinted on the cells of your body.
A real scientist solves problems, not wails that they are unsolvable.
Though all men be equally frail before the world, the differences between them are terrifying. What we cannot bear removes us from life. What remains can be borne.
Genius is measured not by static volume, but by kinetic vision.
The truth that makes men free is for the most part the truth which men prefer not to hear. Don't waste your time hating a failure. Failure is a greater teacher than success. Listen, learn, go on. Your world of poverty can be recreated to that of affluence simply by speaking the prince's language.
Slowing down was how we remembered what we never wanted to forget.
Heaven wheels above you, displaying to you her eternal glories, and still your eyes are on the ground.
If you fight with all your might, there is a chance of life, whereas death is certain if you cling to your corner.
All the world is queer save thee and me, and even thou art a little queer.
Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree.
The greatest mystery the universe offers is not life, size. Being able to write becomes a kind of shield, a way of hiding, a way of too instantly transforming pain into honey. The moment you make someone promise anything is the same moment you ask them to lie to you. Don't get set into one form, adapt it and build your own, and let it grow, be like water. If you've never eaten while crying, you don't know what life tastes like.
Having the life of your dreams is simple. Make conscious choices. I'm just doing me, and to me, that's what got me this far.
Appreciation has tremendous power. A beautiful thing is not beautiful until someone appreciates it.
Know what you want, work to get it, then value it once you have it.
Civilization is only possible for deeply unpleasant animals. It is only an ape that can be truly civilized. Consistency is the true foundation of trust. Either keep your promises or do not make them.
Feet, what do I need them for, if I have wings to fly? He was a lonely ghost, uttering a truth that nobody would ever hear.
Embrace the truth that joy does not happen to us. It reflects our mindset and choices.
When you change your thoughts, remember to also change your world.
To invent your own life's meaning is not easy, but it's still allowed, and I think you'll be happier for the trouble. I only seem negative to the fortunate. That's because I show the less fortunate that they aren't less fortunate after all. I have learned to abide by the laws of my own sanity.
Lower your expectations, but never lower your standards.
I am inspired by people who are willing to confront the shadows of themselves and find light. The future is something which everyone reaches at the rate of 60 minutes an hour, whatever he does, whoever he is.
Everything you do doesn't have to be seen or heard.
Being kind is the greatest thing that costs nothing, but it is everything to the person who receives. After you find out all the things that can go wrong, your life becomes less about living and more about waiting.
The search for truth is more precious than its possession.
Anyone who fights for the future lives in it today. Only by examining our personal biases can we grow as artists. Only by cultivating empathy can we grow as people.
By what men think, we create the world around us daily new.
Guard well your thoughts when alone and your words when accompanied. Reality is what trips you up when you walk around with your eyes closed. If you wish to make Pythocles rich, do not add to his store of money, but subtract from his desires. You cannot connect with anyone except through reality.
Forget injuries. Never forget kindnesses.
A celibate clergy is an especially good idea because it tends to suppress any hereditary propensity toward fanaticism.
Behind every beautiful thing, there's some kind of pain. Everything's a risk. Not doing anything is a risk. It's up to you.
The most dangerous irony is, people are angry with others because of their own incompetence. The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. The nobler sort of man emphasizes the good qualities in others and does not accentuate the bad. The inferior does. One day you'll see why God made you wait. Smile at strangers and you just might change a life. Of everything you could be and everything you do, the greatest thing of all, Henry, is simply to be you. Death comes to us all. We can only choose how to face it when it comes. People who know little are usually great talkers, while men who know much say little.
All things one has forgotten. Scream for help in dreams.
If you have not done things worthy of being written about, at least write things worthy of being read.
Spies are a most important element in water, because on them depends an army's ability to move.
If you change who you are to suit other people, you may end up dressed for the wrong occasion. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man.
We can't become what we need to be by remaining what we are.
Doing what I like to do, the way I like to do it, makes me happy. Behold the power of the truth. When people see its shadow on the wall, they don't want to take the time to look away. A desire not to butt into other people's business is at least 80% of all human wisdom. The right way is always the difficult way, but it's the only way that connects us with our soul. Because if you found meaning in your life, you don't want to go back. You want to go forward. Once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along with it. If you're horrible to me, I'm going to write a song about it, and you won't like it. That's how I operate. Violence is spiritual junk food, and boredom is spiritual anorexia. What you do doesn't frighten your enemies as much as what you are. It's hard to throw away history. It was like you were throwing away a part of yourself. If we all did the things we are really capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. Sometimes you need a little crisis to get your adrenaline flowing and help you realize your potential. It is difficult to make the right choice if you fear choosing wrongly. When all is said and done, all anyone has left is their integrity at their core. Don't give that away too.
All shall be done, but it may be harder than you think.
Nothing is ever complete. You just have to get it close enough that it makes you happy.
It's failure that gives you the proper perspective on success.
If you care about what you do and work hard at it, there isn't anything you can't do if you want to. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how.
There's nothing in the world that breeds success like success.
You get what you give, but also what you're willing to take. All I'm fighting for every day is to make up for the time I had lost. Use your time wisely. You don't get respect if you don't deserve it. Being human is not hard because you're doing it wrong. It's hard because you're doing it right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with telling the truth. I know it isn't fashionable.
It is never too late to be what you might have been. I'm not into this whole move with the times thing. I reckon we should just decide on a year and stick with it.
Most of what I say is complete truth. My edit button is broken. At the heart of nature's mystery lies another mystery.
It doesn't matter what we are, it matters what we do. Don't hit it at all if it is honorably possible to avoid hitting, but never hit soft. See yourself as you really are. Accept the good and the bad. Only then can you truly share yourself with another. If you only walk on sunny days, you'll never reach your destination.
The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master.
Somebody once said, if it's something a single book can explain, it's not worth having explained. It takes too much energy to be against something unless it's really important. Something deep inside calls us to adventure and to brave the unknown. There is a bit of wilderness within all of us. Life is too short or too long for me to allow myself the luxury of living it so badly. Never judge what you have not experienced. Every moment is a new experience. It should not matter, of course, that I could be crazy, because as luck would have it, fortune favors me.
The only way you can know where the line is if you cross it. It's hard not to feel happy when you make someone smile.
When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Being liked for the way you looked is worse than not being liked at all.
Become braver, stronger, wiser, kinder, and you will become better.
I just want to do something that matters, or be something that matters. I just want to matter. If you take responsibility for yourself, you will develop a hunger to accomplish your dreams.
Knowledge of the enemy's dispositions can only be obtained from other men. Gratitude is best refined through the fires of adversity.
The fact that you aren't where you want to be should be enough motivation. Rejections come the moment we decide to turn our one day into day one, and that is totally okay. People have boldness to criticize, but not to sensitize. Feel free to argue with the man with a gun. Only make sure there are no bullets in it.
Life is not about living the safer option. Life is about living a life worth living.
If you don't let go of the wrong people, you'll never meet the right people.
Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. I wouldn't have missed a single minute of it, not for the whole world.
There is nothing deep down inside us except what we have put there ourselves. Nobody is so busy that they can't make time for the people they really care about. It can take years to mold a dream. It takes only a fraction of a second for it to be shattered. Decide how badly you want it, then proceed accordingly. If you try to change it, you will ruin it. Try to hold it, and you will lose it. Weak people revenge, strong people forgive, intelligent people ignore.
There are routes not to be followed, armies not to be attacked, citadels not to be besieged, territory not to be fought over.
The decision is your own voice. An opinion is the echo of someone else's voice.
Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves.
I am ignorant of absolute truth, but I am humble before my ignorance, and therein lies my honor and my reward. The summit of happiness is reached when a person is ready to be what he is. If life gives you any trouble, punch it in the face. Never stop just because you feel defeated. The journey to the other side is attainable only after great suffering.
If fate doesn't make you laugh, you just don't get the joke.
Try telling the truth for a whole week, and just see how much trouble you get in. Those at the top of the mountain didn't fall there. Associate with the noblest people you can find, read the best books, live with the mighty, but learn to be happy alone. You owe no one explanation of what you do, especially those who ask not to help but to judge you.
Maybe other people will try to limit me, but I don't limit myself.
Facing it, always facing it, that's the way to get through. Face it.
Be bold. Don't be shy to say no to the future you don't like.
Most things break, including hearts. The lessons of life amount not to wisdom, but to scar tissue and callus. If you think life is magical or life is hard, either way you are right. Your thoughts are the source of reality.
The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive.
There has never been a protracted war from which a country has benefited. Miracles don't just happen. You have to work to succeed. You have to have an achievable dream.
Things joined by profit, when pressed by misfortune and danger, will cast each other aside.
You cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him find it within himself.
But the truth doesn't need to be known or believed to be true. I quote others only in order the better to express myself. Someone else's progress doesn't make yours any less. We destroy in assumptions, but we do not build in possibilities.
But it's important to acknowledge that while we may make mistakes, in the long run, we may also learn from them. Don't quit. Nothing lasts forever, not even pain. Your deepest, darkest moment may be the best thing that ever happens to you. Learn to heal without venting to everyone. A wise man will make more opportunities than he finds.
Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, so in warfare there are no constant conditions. Dream as if you'll live forever. Live as if you'll die today.
A breeze, a forgotten summer, a smile, all can fit into a storefront window.
For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. Flow with whatever may happen, and let your mind be free.
You start by writing to live. You end by writing so as not to die. Turn your obstacles into opportunities and your problems into possibilities. Being interesting isn't important, but being happy is, as well as being a person you're proud of. A faith that cannot survive collision with the truth is not worth many regrets. Fear tends to come from ignorance. Once I knew what the problem was, it was just a problem. Nothing to fear. A sage steers by the bright light of confusion and doubt.
That is all very senseless, but this senselessness has a pretty mouth, and it smiles.
The pure present is an ungraspable advance of the past devouring the future. In truth, all sensation is already memory.
Everyone's greatest fantasy is to walk away from the life you lead.
Gotta get out of the basement. I've got to see the world. I've got to make a difference.
Transmit the established facts. Do not transmit words of exaggeration. If you do that, you will probably come out all right. Despite the heart-numbing frost, my soul is blooming like spring.
Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. I believe that just because something didn't go the way you planned it once, it's no reason not to try again.
What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right.
Failure is a bend in the road, not the end of the road. Learn from failure and keep moving forward. Truth strikes us from behind and in the dark, as well as from before and in broad daylight. Some people are like clouds. When they disappear, it's a beautiful day. That's what fiction is for. It's for getting at the truth when the truth isn't sufficient for the truth.
Beware of the small things. A small leak can sink a great ship.
Be the kind of person who dares to face life's challenges and overcome them, rather than dodging them. Common man's patience will bring him more happiness than common man's power.
Silence is a true friend who never betrays.
It is said that your life flashes before your eyes just before you die. That is true. Called life.
If it keeps you happy, keep it quiet.
Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. Life might take you down different roads, but each of you gets to decide which one to take. Positive anything is better than negative nothing. The best way to predict your future is to create it.
You can't blame gravity for falling in love.
There is no greater sorrow than to recall happiness in times of misery. The past is apparition, the future a shifting illusion. Time is a trick, this moment is all there is. Take risks, make bold decisions, and enjoy the journey of leaving your own unique mark in this world.
If you fuel your journey on the opinions of others, you are going to run out of gas. The journey is what brings us happiness, not the destination. Words offer meaning. When you've got the meaning, you can forget the words.
You may tend to get cancer from the thing that makes you want to smoke so much, not from the smoking itself. Religious structure often dilutes the spiritual experience.
Man is no longer an artist. He has become a work of art. If you are untrustworthy, people will not trust you.
A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones.
In the cherry blossom shade, there's no such thing as a stranger.
One must reach out and try to grasp this astonishing finesse, that the value of life cannot be estimated.
A man should look for what is and not for what he thinks should be. And regulation entails organizational effectiveness, a chain of command, and a structure for logistical support.
Those who grant sympathy to guilt grant none to innocence. Facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored. There are no environments where you're only going to win, because life just isn't like that. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Know from whence you came. If you know whence you came, there are absolutely no limitations to where you can go. Waiting is painful, forgetting is painful, but not knowing which to do is the worst kind of suffering. Gotta keep my head above water, gotta make it through.
You know, the minute you stop thinking about it, it'll happen.
Success isn't a result of spontaneous combustion. You must set yourself on fire. Think of one thing you can do that will make a big difference in what you are trying to achieve.
Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations.
Choose your steps wisely, because your footprints may be followed by others. Life doesn't just happen to you. You receive everything in your life based on what you've given. These inspired futures hold futuristic inspirations. Look at the sky tonight. All the stars have a reason.
Remove the clowns from your life before you become one.
You lose nothing when fighting for a cause. In my mind, the losers are those who don't have a cause they care about. The right thing at the wrong time is the wrong thing.
Weak people revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore.
When you go down in flames, let it be a blaze that illuminates your path forward, guiding you towards a new beginning. How many things would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? To have great pain is to have certainty. To hear that another person has pain is to have doubt.
Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. You can change your mind. Don't let your mind change you.
All you have to do is write one true sentence. Write the truest sentence that you know.
Life is more or less a lie. But then again, that's exactly the way we want it to be.
Well, it's hard to be yourself. It's the hardest job there is. All warfare is based on deception. There is no place where espionage is not used. Offer the enemy bait to lure him.
When inequality takes root, a garden of problems flourishes. Politeness is the first thing people lose once they get the power.
I have made a ceaseless effort not to ridicule, not to bewail, not to scorn human action, but to understand them. You couldn't erase everything that caused you pain with recollection. Every memory was valuable, even the bad ones. To make a true choice, we must have true knowledge. Never do anything that you can't admit doing, because if you are that ashamed of whatever it is, it's probably wrong. We have to know the truth about the past to discover our future.
In my deepest wound, I saw your glory, and it dazzled me. Opening up to the wrong person is like putting ammo in their hands. Si no usaba esta vida, entonces la estaba desperdiciando. The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long.
Thank people who help you because they make you happy. Thank people who don't help you because they make you strong. If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit.